Here is Groudon Shadow, the first time I'm seeing it in game. It looks absolutely beastly. That is a really solid Shadow Groudon. I think it's almost criminal to give regular Pineapps as part of a research line. Welcome in everybody, hope that you're good, and the World of Wonders Taken Over event has begun, and right here is kind of a star of this show. We've got a lot of stuff that's new Shadow Shinies from the team leaders, terrible lighting for this video, I didn't think that through. Shadow Groudon from Giovanni is now available, and Volibee is available in the wild for the first time, obviously aside from Daily Adventure Incense. So let's go ahead and catch this thing, and there's still some good stuff to shiny hunt. Zorua, still a boosted spawn, and I have to say, thank you very much to Batman of Texas for the gifted ticketed research for this event. There is quite a lot of research. There's some today research, there's It's a Rocket World, so let's claim our stamp for the day. Cranidos from a research task. Now, I have some, unfortunately we've got a rocket radar. Now, let's just check the research. What do we actually need to do? Catch 15, Purify 2 and defeat Rocket Grunts. Obviously boosted grunt is a wonderful thing, fantastic. However, the new Rocket Leader Shadow Shinies are, let's just put it this way, they're nice colours. Arlo now has brand new Shadow Shiny Cacnea, which, I mean, colour palette wise looks great. How usable it's going to be, not got a clue on that front. And Sierra now has Shadow Shiny Trapinch, which visually, the Shadow Shiny looks fabulous, but how usable that's going to be, it falls into the same pool as Cacnea in my view. But one bit of good news is we do have a stacked rocket radar for Giovanni, so we can actually get 2 Shadow Groudon attempts this time round, while also collecting some field research. So that's the plan today, get that timed research done, defeat Giovanni, get both our Shadow Groudons, and see how much of a disappointment they're both going to be. Or is this Shadow Legendary going to be the one that gives us some good IVs? But let me know in the comments below, have you managed to bag a Shadow Shiny already from the team leaders, from the grunts, because there's a recycle of grunts. I think Shadow Shiny Cyphers in the bug grunts at the moment, plus a few more. Have you got your Shadow Groudon yet? What IVs have you got? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm going to go and find something with better lighting and also find some grunts. There's one over here that I can't quite reach. Oh, before we disappear, I have some good news from Sunday. We're not going to do the same mistake as we did yesterday, because after a long time and many checks, we can finally say we actually got the Shiny Kartana with the flower crown. So technically this is number 2, but I do want to see how many more checks after the previous one we actually managed to get this. So not ditching the encounter on that one, but it's a gorgeous looking shiny costume with the shiny matches the flower crown beautifully in terms of the colour. And I'm sort of holding myself back a little bit, but I am so relieved and so stoked to pick another one up. There we go, 1 star. But how many more checks? It was 3,309 and now we're at 3,472. So about another 150 checks or so to get that one ticked off. Right, some Stardust has been burnt to get those purifications done, and rumour is that Stage 2 has even more Stardust burning in the name of basically vein purification. It's terrible. However, encounter numero 1 is, it could be shiny. It could also be something a lot better. Also, it appears that Walpole Park's now a Swablu nest, which frankly makes me sick. But moving on swiftly, catch 20. Oh my god. Okay, defeat 6. So there's some good stuff to go and hunt. You've got Scraggy in the wild, Dino is available if you missed that. Obviously Volibee we mentioned earlier, and I haven't yet seen a Zorua. But there's a Drillbur over there. Is that a Drillbur nest? I hope so. One of the definite wins of this latest Rocket Takeover new wave is in the Fire Grunts. You can find yourself what is going to be one of the most DPS heavy attackers available in the Fire type category, and that is Shadow Darumaka. That is definitely going to be something I'm chasing for the foreseeable couple of months as it stays available in the Fire Grunts there. Darmanitan is already very heavy as a DPS rated attacker. Giving it the 20% Shadow boost is insane. So definitely hunting a good one of those alongside of the Groudon, of course, and that's hysterically PvP. What was that? 2, 14, 13. But I need more grunts. Where are you? Come here. To the oak. Oh, another Fire Grunt. I'll take that. Let's go. Is it going to be back-to-back Darumaka? I wonder what else is lumped in the Fire Grunts. Oh my god, my least favourite Pokemon in the world, Chimchar. But we have research to do, so we'll batter it to death with some stones like you did in the Middle Ages, or I don't know. I'm hearing Life of Brian, Monty Python reference. Quickly going to claim stage 2 because we've stacked up quite a lot of Rocket radars. So it was a Team Rocket box. So thought we might as well buy some radars ahead of today. Let's get this encounter. It's probably going to be something mildly disappointing. It could be shiny, but we did have Johtotor and Sinnotor with that spawning. There's leaders in that direction, all 3 of them in that direction as well. If Professor stops blabbering on at me, defeat each one of the leaders. There we go. Shadow Pidgey is available in grunts as well, which is nice and new. Not sure how useful that's going to be. Cute Pokemon, fairy type, we'll never say no to that unless it's Snubble. What's it going to be? It's okay. Alolan Vulpix is now in fairy grunts. That's usually a nice. First of the new leaders that we're going to take down is Sierra, who has Shadow Shiny potential Trapinch to her name. Ground type. Best to go with something that's super fast on the old grass move, so probably good old Kartana. Houndoom's usually at the back with Sierra, so... Okay, we're going to rock with this team. So Hundo Kartana for Razor Leaf, then we've got the Garchomp level 50 for the ground moves versus Houndoom, sorry, that's usually at the back, and the Circuitry, very quick fire electric moves versus Houndoom. Versus... Oh. Okay. It's a good job I got somebody at the tail end who's telling me what's going on. So we need a fire, really. Where's my Reshiram? Let's see, it should be okay, theoretically. Trapinch. If we could bag the Shadow Shiny, I wouldn't say no, but I will say I'm not going to actively chase it. Much like the last wave where there was Tentacool and Zubat, I did one for the research and that was it. Didn't touch them ever again. So Honchkrow, let's try and burn the shields because Peck does some damage. Okay, one shield is gone. We'll burn up some energy and then switch in to Circuitry for the super effective moves. And good old Circuitry's nice and fast. And Dazzling Gleam should do... Actually no, because Victory Bell's dual type with poison, so that's not ideal. I guess we just have to use Discharge constantly. Right, there we go. There's Victory Bell. Come on in. Still not very effective. And Razor Leaf decimates. There we go. Razor Leaf on Shadows is so powerful, it's ridiculous. Let's just torch it. And there is Sierra done. Probably the one and only we're going to bother doing. Give me some sparkles. Because with Chop, we've actually had very good Shadow Shiny luck over the years when it was first introduced at the tail end of 22. And it's not the blue-green, but that's cool. Sierra's completed and in the bin. Let's get the Trapinch done, see how good it's going to be, if at all. Let's see, 265 is 2-star awful. So, we won't be using that again, I can tell you that. But good news is Cliff's just over there and Arlo's over there, as you can see. So let's go and battle another guy. Obviously, Cliff is up next and Shadow Mewtwo. So let's take that lineup and see if we're going to get shafted or not. Still chasing 100% shadow of this thing, so this is the leader I'm going to be grinding constantly, and Machamp as a shadow is usable not only for raids but in various PvP GBL leagues, so this is definitely one to grind for multiple aspects of the game. It's been a Shadow Shiny since, I believe, November of 2022. You could go and check out that video at the top there if you fancy it, when we got 3 or 4 inside of 2 days when it was first released, which was mad RNG. Machop in the bin, both shields burned, and it is Gallade next. And there's the final mon, Tyranitar. We're going to do some non-effective damage, but then switch into Lucario just to finish him off. And Power-Up Punch is super nice and spammy and easy to deal with. Know your typings, people. There we go. There is the indicator these days at the top of the screen, which is very handy. Finally, after 8 years nearly, Niantic could put that into the game to help people. 12km eggs. Actually, the new thing, not just one of the new things, but one of the awesome new things is new 12km eggs from this day going forward have the potential to hatch a shiny Sandile for you, which is it's a tiny Shadow Machop. That's adorable. Of 269, no idea if that's actually any good, but shiny Sandile is beautiful. It goes like a yellow colour, amazing. 2-star deadness, but XXS Machop Shadow, that's adorable. A few moments later, look at this, a shiny Vullaby from the wild. That's actually really, really awesome. Never had that before. We've hatched a couple of them in the course of our time playing the game, but Mandibuzz, I don't think it's as good as it once was while this thing decides to break out of a Golden Raz Great Throw. Great Ball. There you go, get in the balls there. Mandibuzz being in Great League, it's still very tanky, I think in Ultra League as well in some ways, but it's not as usable as it once was due to meta shake-ups and that sort of thing, but it's still, this is dead 0-star, but hey, wild shiny, I'll definitely take it. 169. I wonder if that means it's going to be in the wild going forwards or if it's just for this event. But now it's time to take that. There's another one. Hello. Not shiny this time. It's Arlo time. Let me set up the camera somewhere. Yeah, we definitely need to get rid of the Latios out of the way because he now has potential Shadow Shiny Cacnea, which is a grass type. Typically he either has Sizzle or Salamence. We've already got a fire type in place. So let's prep ourselves for a dragon, shall we? By bringing in... We need something spammy, like Latios. So put Latios back in the team. Cacnea, there we go. Nice to see it, and it's a pure grass type, so we're going to go Kaching with Reshiram and toast it. What's slot number 2? It is GoLurk. Right, we just need to get rid of the shields at this point, so even though GoLurk could be super effective with ground moves versus Reshiram. Can we get to another one? Because, oh, he's got super effective moves right there. Ouchie. God. Right, I guess we're going to have to go Giratina with Ominous Wind before GoLurk actually gets to a move. For goodness sake. I don't recommend chase, unless you're a Shadow Shiny chaser or a Shiny Collector, etc. It's really not worth chasing Shadow Shiny Cacnea because Cacturn, its evolution, doesn't really fall in any play. I'm fairly confident of that. If it suddenly becomes a PvP must-have, somebody else out there probably has the correct information. From my standpoint, you're not going to see me taking in Cacturn into a Primal Kyogre raid, for example. Now we can't switch out, but we do have Salamence in the back, which is going to be, if he's got Dragon moves, super effective versus us. But we can now go to Latios and just Dragon Breath him down. Just use the move at the last second in case he decides to annihilate us with Dragon Tail for whatever particular reason. But there you go, that's all 3 of the leaders ticked off, which means we can now go and find ourselves Giovanni. But first up, Shadow Shiny check. The only Cacnea you're ever going to see me do. New 12 kilometers rate, let's get those incubating for sure. And it's not the bronze colour. Obviously it was released as part of Hoenn last year. Caught, done and dusted. Lovely stuff. And now, claim the little bit of XP that we need, get our Super Rocket Radar equipped, and try and find Giovanni. Or we wait for the 12 o'clock balloon. Is there anything nearby? Wow. There's only a few in Walpole and one just across the road. So let's go and check the one across the road first. Wouldn't mind another shiny Scraggy though. Right, after a bit of faffing around, all the potential Giovanni in Walpole and Ealing area that were all decoys. All of them are decoys, which these days is no bad thing because Bellsprout obviously can still be Shadow Shiny from those decoys, which is lovely. But here is Giovanni himself. We found him. This very well could be the only one of the whole area, so I'm hoping to get this one done, and the midday balloon is going to be our second. So got Persian in slot number 1, best to go with a fighting type, preferably something with power up punch to burn through his shields, easy. And then the mid one is going to be some form of ground type. Garchomp, Nidoking, I think Rhyperior are in the mix somewhere. There may be one new one somewhere. And the final one you need to use to take down Groudon, you're probably best to go for some water type action, unless it has solar beam, but you can shield that. We're going to primal revert the Kyogre Hundo, Shalundo by the way, to make sure we get the battle done nice and easy for you and not mess it up. So let's jump in. Katana has the Razor Leaf, which will be really good for the damage, potentially even versus Groudon. So Persian, hopefully we can just burn those shields and get them done very quickly indeed. Shadow Groudon is one of those Pokemon where even if you get a 0/0/0 Shadow Groudon, it is better than the Hundo of a regular form, purified or normal. That's how good the attack boost is on it. It's still an incredibly good usable mon because of base stats and calculations and all of that. So those are both the shields burned with Persian. Who's going to be up next? It is Garchomp. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to save... Actually no, let's burn one power-up punch and just burn it. Might as well utilise Lucario to the maximum and possibly save it as a sack swap in case we need to. Let's do that. It's a good job we brought in Primal Kyogre because Garchomp should be fairly resistant versus good old Katana, but he's still tearing through our Primal Kyogre. Oh my god, it's actually destroyed us. Thankfully, he got to a charge attack and decided to use that, so we've got this as the camera's being blustered by the wind. Buffeting. Origin Pulse. Just in time. Just in time. Down it goes, and here is Groudon Shadow. The first time I'm seeing it in-game. It looks absolutely beastly. It's a shame we're having to utilise the Katana, but it is what it is. We should be able to get to Leaf Blade fairly quickly unless he's going to have Dragon Tail. No, he's got Mud Shot, which is not the worst thing in the world. He's going to still do some good damage versus us. But Leaf Blade, Katana, Razor Leaf, easy, done and dusted. Simple. There you go. That's how you defeat Giovanni, people, and get yourself a Shadow Groudon. Right, it's time to save it. The only time we technically save Shadow Pokemon is when we purify them for the research. That's what I do. Anyway, defeated and done, and here is Shadow Groudon, and 895. Unfortunately, you'd be looking for very similar stats to what you got for Shadow Kyogre because they share the same stats and everything in the game. So 930 something, I think, is what you might be looking for. 927, maybe? But 895 isn't too bad, actually. I want to see, that might be a 2-starer. Hopefully it's got some good attack stats on it. 3XL, and it's a mid 2-star, 11, 8, 12. Could be better, but could be a lot worse. So I'm going to keep it, and hopefully we can get a better one from the midday balloon. But it does mean while we're sat here with a nice perch, we can just claim all these rewards, get ourselves an encounter with something. One of them is going to be... Not that that's a 1-star raid boss and incredibly common in the wild, but hey ho. Final stage should be auto completed on this one, obviously. A bit of Stardust and some Silver Pineapples, not the end of the world, but we do have not only the awesome research from the Batman of Texas that was gifted to us, thank you very much again, by the way. We can claim all these components and they'll stack up to a rocket radar, which is no bad thing. So now I want to go and chase some rocket leaders. Ooh, I've claimed some XP and now we're claiming an encounter. What's going on? Ka-ching, Pawniard could be shiny. We got a bunch of those as shiny in New York Go Fest last year. Here is an encounter. Apparently part 2 is terrible for this. Vullaby, not the shiny, and 537. No idea. Part 2 is going to... Oh my god, that's bad. Catch 6 shadows. Purify 6 shadow Pokemon for Silver Pine. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. I thought they were good rewards. Purify 6 shadow Pokemon for 7 regular Pineapple Berries. That's burning, at least burning 6,000 Stardust for 7 regular Pineapples. I'm actually stunned. That's just dirty rewards, particularly considering that I think is the paid ticket one off the top of my head. Maybe it's not. Either way, it's terrible. After a few restarts, there we go. We have our 12 PM balloon, and of course it's Giovanni because we've got the Rocket Radar enabled. So this is the final Super Rocket Radar from the stack we had. And fingers crossed we get something above 900. I'd love to see some actual good IV Shadow Groudon. We're going to run exactly the same lineup. We've got the Primal Kyogre there to do some damage. Let's see what Giovanni has to offer this time, shall we? You can interchange and look at what might be a more accessible Giovanni team lineup if you are lower level, for example, or something like that. Lucario's fairly easy to come by, you know, we've had events for it, etc. in the past, but there are various other Pokemon that have power-up punch these days. You can search on various things like Leap Duck or Pokemon Go Hub, etc. to try and find out what might be your more suitable lineup to get them taken down. Personally, I like to run Lucario just because it does very high attack, and it tends to burn the shields nice and quickly. We also just have a drab of rain coming through, which is fantastic today. It started out lovely and sunny, and now it's gone to wind, overcast, and potential rain. And actually, Kingdra, I was not expecting to see you. I thought you were a part of Cliff's lineup. Okay, so Giovanni is shifted. You're going to have to potentially have a look at what is more suitable for you, because I don't actually have anything to counter Kingdra, typically. We have a boosted Aura Sphere ready to go. At least Lucario can still do some good damage on it, so we can just kind of chonk him down, which is nice. Now, Groudon. We've got 2 lined up counters ready for him, and we've got boosted Aura Spheres, so maybe we can get a clean sweep in. Although Lucario is weak to ground, so that might be the only problem. Not really a problem. We've got a Primal Kyogre and a Katana ready and waiting, so let's just see how far we can get with Lucario. We've still got 1 more power-up punch. There we go, easy to get the excellent on these attacks, boom, and let's just see where we end up on it, because we're basically almost going to completely tank it down. Now we just need Katana to do some super effective Razor Leaf work, and that is second Shadow Groudon in the bag. I have to say, and I've been saying this for a long time, and it's something I feel very strongly about, is I think you should be able to get weekly, or maybe, you know, if you do the research more and more times, you could get more Shadow encounters, because 922! Oh, you little beauty, that is so solid. It's not, I don't think it's the Shadow Hunt though, but that is a really solid Shadow Groudon. Oh my god, come on, give me a 15 attack something or other. I'd love to see that. Come on. 93 Shadow. Oh my god, we're starring that, and this gives me the opportunity to say, during the course of this event that runs until the end of the month, you can do this, folks. You can TM off frustration, get rid of it, and what I'm going to do right now is use one of my 2 elite charge TMs to get precipice blades on this Shadow Groudon. I wanted a good one, we grinded the XL candy, and now we're going to max it. Oh, we don't have the, don't have the Stardust. Right. New agenda for the rest of this video, apart from going to go and get some lunch and waiting for the rain. But what I do want to do now, folks, Mudshot, Precipice Blades, we need, do you see how much Stardust you need? 615,000 Stardust we need. So we're going to go and grind, because 12km eggs do give you a lot of Stardust, but a 93% Shadow. I am a very content, happy Pokemon Go trainer right there. And now we're going to equip the rocket radars again and go and find, because I know there was some cliff up in the park over there, so we can go and do those, but I might go and get an umbrella first. I'm actually just so overjoyed. 90, sorry, I need to look at it again. 15, 12, 15 is such a good Shadow. That's actually insane, and that will never be purified. If there was a way to lock off the purify button, like disable the purify button, not be able to accidentally click it, I would do that, but thank you, Giovanni. Our final daily adventure in Zen Spawn is an invisible Zorua. This actually seems to have broken my game. That's not ideal. Anyway, we're back out after the rain has stopped, which is great. We're going to grind the 12km eggs, see if we can hatch a couple of them. They do take, even with a super incubator, 8k to walk, which is a fair old time. I'm going to restart the game. I don't know why Zorua is breaking at the moment, but hey, it seems to be a common problem if you're quick catching, that is. It wasn't a shiny Zorua, it was sort of slightly broken, but there is a cliffy boy just here, which I want to do. So, 5 more Pineapps. Maybe it's a shiny Pawniard at the end of this. Who knows? It is not, and 598, I'm not sure. I think it's almost criminal to give regular Pineapps as part of a research line. Things that you can acquire from spinning stops and gyms, particularly when you think you have to catch 12 Shadow Pokemon, which is battling. This is ridiculous. Battling 12 different grunts, right, and catching the Shadow Pokemon and purifying 6 of them. That's a lot of Stardust. But let's take down Cliffy Boy and see if we can get another Shadow Shiny Machop. And just keep on walking. I love it when a plan goes accidentally quite wrong but right. Look at that. One of the new Shadow Shinies. Shadow Shiny Cacnea has been acquired today, only from my 3rd Arlo, and the only reason we're doing that is to get a 12km egg, which we got. So fantastic, we have picked up a brand new Shadow Shiny for the day, which I absolutely love to see. So let's see what stats it's going to be. Probably terrible, like every single Shadow in the game, apart from that one Groudon I got. 245, absolutely dead 0 star, but there we go, we have one in the bag. Fantastic. 3 of the 12s will go off, and then we'll see, because they're brand new. Will there be any shiny Sandile in there? These are the 3 brand new 12km eggs. Now, I will say, realistic expectations, you're very, very unlikely to hatch that shiny Sandile anytime soon. And if you get it pretty much immediately, GG's, big congrats, because it's going to be tricky to acquire. But speaking of the Sandile, though, there is one. Out of those 12km eggs, Pancham, probably the more common one of the things, but I would expect to see Larvitar a lot. No, Pancham, okay, but they could be shiny. And I still need a Hundo Sandile, that's one, ooh, it's 96. I'll stock up on those 12km eggs again and have a go at Sierra, see if she's going to give us the Shadow Shiny Trapinch like Arlo's given us the Cacnea. Do you know what, let's just put this on camera, why not? Next up is a water type Milotic. Oh, it's me. While we're doing this battle though, and I'm happen to be using Kartana, from the 4th of April folks, Kartana will be able to be shiny when it's in raids in the Northern Hemisphere. And Celasteela, its kind of counterpart in this game, will be able to be shiny from the Southern Hemisphere. But I want to chase that Kartana. That Kartana is the one to go for me. I absolutely love the Pokemon, and its shiny is, it's just amazing. It's a silver and orange shiny. Fabulous. Celasteela's a good shiny too, being a white rather than the sort of grey silver it currently is. But I should have just used the discharge. I forgot it had a second shield there. But no matter, we'll just get another Dazzling Gleam and shield us there. And there's a few other things. Obviously this weekend is Shadow Shiny Mewtwo, so very best of luck for that. So we'll be smashing out a weekend's worth of raids, that's for damn sure. Ooh, it's not blue. Damn! Sierra might be a little bit more hard to play, but we'll do a couple of these. I know I said I wasn't going to, but 12km egg priority. Since there are lots of leaders around, we might as well. But well, we're going to wrap up today's little adventure here, and a few points for this Team Rocket Takeover event. If you're in need of shiny Vullaby and are sick of hatching 12km eggs and not getting it, it is plentiful in the wild during this event, so very best of luck on that one. Zorua doesn't seem to be as boosted in the wild as the previous event, part 1 essentially with the Verdant Wonders, but it's still available readily, which is lovely. And the Team Rocket shake-up, shall we say, the leaders are a little bit, you know, whatever. Go and chase Cliff if you fancy the Shadow Shiny Machop, but don't forget it's actually still available through the grunts apparently, so if you find a fighting type grunt, I think there's like 5 or 6 different Pokemon you could potentially get from it. Other grunts that are worthwhile going for, the fire types, definitely. It's either going to be Darumaka, new, very usable, or Chimchar, bin it. And the ice type grunts at the moment only have Swinub or Snorunt in them, so Swinub, definitely go for it, but there are a few other good grunts in there. However, there are definite ones to avoid. Dark types, avoid it. No Shadow Shiny potential at all, are pretty trash as well. You've got a load of Rattata and Stunky and a few other things in there. I don't mind the Team Rocket Takeover event, to be honest. Team Rocket Takeovers, in my view, are a really nice free-to-play aspect of the game, really. You can buy the Rocket Radars, etc., and buy the box that was cheekily available last year with the Super Rocket Radars in there for Giovanni, but to be honest, it's free. The grunts are free, the team leaders are free if you go and grind them, and they give you Stardust, and Shadow Pokemon are amongst some of the most powerful in the game. Let me know your thoughts and feelings of the Team Rocket Takeover this time round in the comments below. But we couldn't finish a video without saying massive thank you to every single person on the Patreon credits. These are the people, as I say every single time, are the reason that we can continue to be here creating content, live streaming Spot Hours, Raid Hours, and attending live events like New York Go Fest and LA Sinnoh. These are the people who really make that happen, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, genuinely. Coming up are a few things. It's very likely that there'll be an April Fool's event. It will be probably unannounced, so just bear in mind, Monday, April the 1st, you may see some funky stuff going on. Last year's with Pidgey Pandemonium was a bit of a letdown, but we have had fun things like Ditto Shiny Boosts in the past and 8-bit Pokemon graphics, so just keep your eye out for that. Before that, as I mentioned, we've got the Shadow Shiny Mewtwo Ray weekend. Very best of luck for that. Make sure you get a squad out. I'm going to find some people here in the local crew and drive around in cars, because I strongly suspect it's going to be very like the Shadow Raikou Beasts and Entei coming in April. There's a good Shadow Shiny potential there. They won't be boosted raids potentially, so just bear in mind you might have to go zoning around and try and find them. However, there's some good events coming up in April. So we've also got Bagon's Community Day Classic on the 7th. We'll be here playing that in Ealing with Triple Catch XP. Need the Shundo, complete the set, that'd be amazing. And these sizable surprises, Shiny Wimpod dropping and a boost of, well, Shiny Welder, if you need that shiny. Very best of luck, but April's looking pretty solid. There's bug out events, which probably will drop a new bug shiny, Nimbol, maybe, like it was accidentally released a few months ago. And there's the Sustainability Week, which is one of my favourite events of the year. Last year brought in Shiny Drillbur. Lots of good, exciting stuff to come up with. I'm going to say go and check out either one of these bits of content here available for you. You're going to have the Shadow Shiny Mewtwo. Last time it was here in May 2023. Go and check out how we did. More content on the channel for you to enjoy, but I will say until the next time, do take care.